I, 37M, and I thought I had a happy marriage until I found out my wife secretly put our house up for sale to move in with her affair partner. So, I sued her for everything. I'd been married to my wife for 10 years. A decade. That's a long time to build a life with someone, to trust them, to believe that you're both in it together. I worked hard, long hours, overtime, and side gigs, to make sure we had a good life. I was never the flashy type, but we had a nice home, stable finances, and what I thought was a strong foundation. My wife worked part-time mostly because she wanted to, not because she had to. I supported that. I supported her. Looking back, maybe I should have noticed the signs sooner. The late nights out with friends, the sudden secrecy with her phone, the way she'd get defensive over simple questions. But I trusted her. I never thought she'd be capable of something like this. Then, one day, everything unraveled. I got home early from work. It was supposed to be a normal Wednesday, grab dinner, maybe watch a game, unwind. But when I walked through the door, I saw something strange. A real estate sign on our front lawn. For a second, I thought it had to be some kind of mistake. Maybe a prank? A scam? But then I saw the papers on the kitchen table. A contract. A pending sale. My wife's signature. My stomach twisted. My name wasn't on the papers. She had put our house up for sale without telling me. My name was on the deed. I paid the mortgage. She had no legal right to do this without my approval. And yet, here it was signed, sealed, and almost delivered. I took a deep breath and went looking for my wife. She was upstairs, casually scrolling through her phone like she hadn't just detonated a nuclear bomb on our lives. "Do you want to explain to me why our house is up for sale?" I asked, holding up the papers. Her reaction? Not shock. Not guilt. Annoyance. She sighed and rolled her eyes like I was the one being dramatic. "You weren't supposed to find out yet." That was when I knew. There was more to this. I pressed her, and the truth spilled out like a broken dam. She had been having an affair for over a year, and she wasn't just cheating. She was leaving. But not just leaving. She was selling the house out from under me, taking the money, and moving in with her affair partner. I couldn't even process it at first. My ears were ringing. I felt like I was in a bad dream. She kept talking, saying things that made my blood boil. "This is better for both of us," she said. "We could just move on. Move on." She was trying to rob me blind and act like it was nothing. I clenched my fists, trying to keep my voice calm. "Did you think I wouldn't notice? Did you really think you could do this behind my back?" She just shrugged. "It's already almost done. The buyers are finalizing the deal." Oh, hell, no. That's when I knew. I wasn't just going to fight back. I was going to ruin her. I wasn't about to let her get away with this. She thought she could cheat, lie, and steal the home I worked my ass off to pay for? No. She was about to learn exactly what kind of mistake she had made. I didn't waste time arguing with her. Instead, I grabbed the papers and left the house. I needed a lawyer. Immediately. The first strike. The next morning, I sat across from a divorce attorney, laying everything out. He listened carefully, nodding as I explained the situation. When I showed him the documents for the house sale, his eyes darkened. "She can't do this," he said. "Your name is on the deed. She has no legal right to sell it without your consent. We can stop this." That was all I needed to hear. My lawyer filed an emergency injunction to block the sale of the house. Within 24 hours, the sale was officially frozen. The buyers? Furious. The real estate agent? Confused. And my wife? Livid. She stormed into the house that evening, throwing a tantrum like a spoiled child. "What the hell did you do?" she shrieked. I stayed calm. "I stopped you from stealing my house." She had the audacity to act like I was the bad guy. "This isn't fair. I already told the buyers we were good to go." I folded my arms. "I didn't agree to sell. You tried to forge this deal behind my back. You don't get to cry about fair." She scoffed, crossing her arms. "Well, guess what? I was going to tell you after it was done. I was making things easier for both of us." Unbelievable. Then she said something that nearly made me lose it. "I deserve that money more than you anyway. I put up with you for 10 years. That was it." That was the moment I decided she wouldn't get a damn cent more than she legally had to. She wanted to screw me over? She had no idea what was coming. The legal war begins. The next step was filing for divorce. But I wasn't just going for a simple split. I wanted to make sure she faced consequences. Since she had tried to commit fraud by selling our house without my consent, my lawyer argued that this should count against her in the division of assets. That, combined with her affair, put me in a much stronger legal position. In my state, adultery has financial consequences in divorce. If I could prove she had cheated, it could impact the settlement. So, I hired a private investigator. Within a week, I had everything I needed: photos, videos, screenshots. She had been parading around town with her affair partner like she didn't have a husband at home. I took those right to my lawyer. He smirked when he saw them. This is going to be fun. When she was served with divorce papers, she lost it. She tried to play innocent at first. Can we talk about this like adults? I gave her a flat look. Adults don't commit fraud and adultery. Her tune changed fast. She started demanding half of everything, insisting she deserved the house. But legally, she was screwed. Not only was she not getting the house, but my lawyer made sure I got more than 70% of our assets. She was getting nothing. But I wasn't done yet. Destroying her financially. Her affair partner, let's call him AP, was just as entitled as she was. After she realized she wasn't getting the house, she moved in with him. But here's the thing. AP wasn't some rich guy. He was broke. Turns out, my wife thought she was moving up in the world. In reality, she was moving in with a guy drowning in debt. But it got worse for her. Since she was on my health insurance, the divorce meant she was losing it. She also hadn't worked full-time in years. She was so sure she'd get a huge divorce settlement that she didn't think she'd need a job. Now, she had no money, no job, and no house. And AP? Well, he didn't exactly want to fully support her either. It wasn't long before she came crawling back, not to reconcile but to beg for money. She actually had the nerve to say, "I know we had our issues, but you wouldn't want to see me struggle, right?" I almost laughed in her face. That's exactly what I want to see. She called me heartless. No, heartless is trying to steal someone's home and savings after betraying them. I didn't give her a dime. The last time I heard about her, she and AP were barely scraping by. He had creditors coming after him, and she was desperately looking for a job. Meanwhile, I kept my house, my savings, and my peace of mind. She tried to ruin me. Instead, she ruined herself. Karma is beautiful. Oh, and if you like this story, subscribe for more. I promise you, people never run out of ways to be stupid.